Ladies and gentlemen, this is Eye of the Storm podcast number 2, and my special guest today is the one, the only, the self-proclaimed best in backyard wrestling, NPK.
That's me,
That's
my
you.
man. That's me.
So the first thing I wanted to talk about was really what got you all started in pro wrestling, and how did you meet Nick, and how did you get into Fight Night Wrestling to begin with?
So you want the
I
whole
want the backstory.
backstory?
I want the backstory. Yes,
You want the backstory.
I do.
Well, so I mean, if we want to go all the way back, pro wrestling was something that I would see on TV when I was little. And I mean, it wasn't that it's not that I didn't like it, it was that my mom didn't like it. She always made me, turn away if it came on TV or something like that. And what ended up happening was, I mean, probably around, I want to say 11, 12 years old, I was over at my friend's house, just the generic first time seeing pro wrestling on TV before. We're down in his basement watching, and all of a sudden he flips on SmackDown, and there's D-Generation X facing off against the Hart Dynasty, and they have a great match, and then all of a sudden the Undertaker comes out, and man, when he hit the ring, I was sold from day one.
Doesn't it make you feel old as shit knowing that, like, on a regular casual SmackDown tapings, we'd see like fucking DX versus the Hart Dynasty,
It's
Hart Foundation,
I mean you want to think about like how far back that was. That I want to say that was probably
2011,
20
maybe less than that.
yeah, probably around 2011, yeah, cuz I got started in Fight Night around the summer of 2012. I want to say 2013
So
around
as
then.
soon as you saw it on TV, you're like, oh, yep, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it on TV, started watching SmackDowns. Never watched Raw for some reason. They always had SmackDowns on Hulu, so I'd pull it up on my parents' computer and I'd watch SmackDown every morning before I went to school. And I mean, that's going back to when like Punk was, hardcore into the straight edge society, and they
Oh
still had
yeah.
Luke Gallows on there with Joey Mercury,
Hmm.
and they were doing all that jazz. But yeah, I just watched it every day, and then all of a sudden got to school one day, and these guys were like, because pro wrestling. So from, I mean, you want to say when our ages now, I mean, it's still not, I don't think it's as socially acceptable as it was. So it's kind of a you speak under hushed tones about whether or
Now
not.
we just get called faggots, and it's basically like the new emo.
Yeah, basically, but then it's like,
If you wrestle, you're gay.
then you look at them and you're like, dude, you're a bitch. Come step in the ring and see if you can handle it. It's like,
Speaking of the fucking ring we just got, and people could expect to see new matches, are the first thing that people see from, well, us in that ring will be the IEW show that should be posted shortly. And if you're not
true.
subscribed to IEW Wrestling, go do that.
Yes, go subscribe. I would appreciate it since
We would.
yeah, Hellstorm and I, because IEW was kind of like our brainchild. We wanted a company, because of some backstage politics, we weren't able to get Matt Mercer onto the Fight Night roster. And we wanted to show that we would be able to meld all these superstars from Fight Night Wrestling and from HWR Wrestling and have them meet in one place. You could say it's just a ripoff of PWG, but
That's really what it is.
that's basically what we're doing. We're just there to have a good time, have some great matches, and just try to steal the show. That's what we're trying to do.
That's kind of the whole slogan of IEW.
Yeah, it's. I mean, the ring is so. It's gonna influence us so much. Really the hardcore guys like me, you, Matt, all the guys that want to move on in wrestling as we get older. It's just really, it's something that we can do that to get ahead of the game. Going into a wrestling school or going into the indies, you're already a step ahead of some other people. And I definitely think that it's going to be a great thing if we can get Matt and then all these guys kind of brought together for IEW, get them all wrestling in the same ring. It's going to be a good time.
And it's weird because we're talking about fucking like origins of wrestling. The funny thing is, I really don't even remember the first time I watched wrestling. My stepdad was watching it. I was like 10. He was watching it on a big screen in the living room, and all I saw was Chris Jericho with the long ass fucking hair still, and it was like 20. I don't know.
Good old Y2J with the.
I think it was like 2010, maybe 2009. I don't even fucking remember how old I was, but I just saw that and I'm like, what the hell are you watching? I didn't say that, of course, but I was like, what are you watching? And I don't even remember what he said. I don't even remember anything of that day. All I remember is seriously just Chris Jericho entering, and it was on a SmackDown, of course. And I think the next thing I remember watching after that was some sort of match between Edge and Jericho.
Dude, my first. Other than watching WWE, as in SmackDown on Hulu, is what I used to do when I was littler. I never knew that there were DVDs that I could go rent or stuff from the video store. So the first time I ever experienced a pay-per-view was the same friend who had introduced me to SmackDown brought over WrestleMania 26, which would have been...
I think I bought that one on pay-per-view too.
That's when Taker wrestled Shawn the second time.
Yeah, I bought that pay-per-view. That's the one time I bought it.
Yeah, and he brought that shit over, dude, and he put it into the DVD player, and I was like, oh my god, this is fucking awesome. It was just, you gotta... Just watching Shawn and Taker go at it, it's just like... Those two matches they had back-to-back are, I think, honestly, two of the greatest matches ever in the history of pro wrestling, and it's just cool that some of my first thoughts about it come up with those guys.
Childhood wrestling, I'd say, besides Chris Jericho, my all-time favorite would be Shawn Michaels.
Really?
Really?
Chris
Jericho.
I was introduced to those guys, but my first, dude, it's so weird. I'm like, I wasn't a little kid. I was always bigger than most of the kids when I was growing up. I hit my growth spurt a lot earlier
You're still a bigger kid.
Yeah. And I don't know why, I just got infatuated with Jeff Hardy.
Obviously.
He was my go-to, man. I don't know why. I was just like...
I know why. Everyone was.
He was my go-to, and then, once you start learning about, like, whoa, like, I can watch Raw, like, there's other wrestling other than SmackDown, and you start to see these other guys.
I didn't even know about indie wrestling until, like, freshman year, not gonna lie.
Oh, no, man. I knew indie wrestling was a thing, but I never, maybe the same way you were introduced to it. I knew TNA was a thing, but I always thought it was like, hey, it was just like this other thing. Like, I watched...
I didn't know about independent wrestling, but I knew about I always watched TNA. TNA, like, didn't even count as independent wrestling because it was basically, like, the fucking WCW of that era. And then now it's just, like, it's still good, but it's shit compared to what it was before.
Yeah, I really just got hooked on, I just happened to be watching a PWG thing on YouTube. I just happened to pull it up, and I'm like, oh my fucking god, these guys are killing it. And then PWG led me to Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground led me to ROH.
Underground is like really new.
I knew
2014.
I knew ROH was like a wrestling thing, but I hadn't really dove deep into it. And I looked into that. I'm like, oh, dude, this is...
The first time I heard about Ring of Honor was when Punk said he made that promo where he said maybe I'll go back to Ring of Honor. That's the first time.
His pipe bomb. His epic
That's
pipe
the first
bomb.
I ever even heard of it. I was like, what the hell is that? I keep hearing that somewhere, and I'm like, so I watched it and I realized that people like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk and Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens and all those people fucking came from there.
Yeah, I think looking at it now, I'd have to say probably my favorite independent wrestlers, like, nowadays. Obviously, I'm a fan of Kenny Omega and all these guys that are killing it, but I am a fan of Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian. I am a fan of Team Tremendous. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They wrestled at a couple PWG shows. I'm a big fan of theirs. And then obviously like Pentagon Jr. and all these guys just killing it. I just recently, like last year, I kind of got introduced to Evolve. Didn't really know that was a thing, and then
I did.
started watching these matches between Gargano and all these different guys down there, and I thought it was a really cool, just like a really cool place. That's what I would say.
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of the same for me. Like my favorite wrestlers like right now to watch are obviously Kenny Omega and the Bucks, and if we're talking indie wrestling, of course, they brought Suicide back. That's new. I still don't know who's playing him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I remember as a kid when I loved TNA, my favorite was AJ Styles and Suicide. Those were my favorite two wrestlers. I didn't even realize that TJ Perkins was like Suicide. And I even know that they unmasked him like when Austin Aries unmasked as Suicide and they pulled out TJ. I didn't even realize that was like I didn't realize that was him when he
Until
entered.
now.
Yeah, like when he entered in the Cruiserweight Classic, I totally forgot that's who that fucking was.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never knew the name, I just remember the face. And I go, oh shit, yeah, that's him. Yeah, but that's kind of how I got into wrestling. I don't know, I used to watch it so much, I'm like, you know what, that seems really fucking fun.
Uh-huh.
And then, I want to say 2013.
Is when you guys started HWR? Or you started...
No. Here's the thing. We had nothing at all to wrestle on, not even a bed or anything. We had 2 fucking couch cushions. It was me, Chris Massacre, and Mason Hunter. He's not a veteran, but you know, one of the beginning.
Uh-huh.
I wrestled with him before HWR was even a thing. 2 fucking couch cushions, and that's all we had. And our infamous move was just a DDT, and I would roll sell it, and that would be like the biggest thing that we'd do, and just because we'd do it every time, it'd be funny. And then he'd spear me, and then I'd like body slam him. It's fucking weird, but
That's awesome.
And then we got a mattress. It was really small and shitty, but it was something. And we never even started recording until HWR's anniversary is December 1st, 2014. That's when the first video was posted between me and Chris Massacre. And it was shit quality because it came from like my old cracked iPod, but like I remember in that match we went for a double kick to each other and our shins clacked together and our shins hurt for like 2 weeks after that because it hurt so fucking bad.
Yeah.
And if you went and watched it, you can see him like grabbing it, and when I kicked him I was like limping, and then I threw it was fucking hilarious. But like, there was this huge smack noise. People think it's fake, but that was just our shins just clacking together. It was gross.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like, it's weird because now it's weird to think about because not we, as, I mean, I'm not saying, you know what I mean, but like we, as in general, backyard wrestling, as friends, have the wrestling ring that your parents got for all of us. And to think this all fucking started, at least for me, started on 2 fucking couch cushions.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, the guys, I mean, because I didn't start in Fight Night until those guys asked me to join, which, referring to those guys would be Nick and Gavin, and then Connor and Caden, who lived here,
Yeah.
up until 2015, 2014, around then. Those guys, like, I mean, they started it out and it was like they wanted to actually fight each other, and they they did like whatever, like amateur wrestling, whatever they were doing was just crazy. And they brought me in for their first fight line, which I thought was pretty cool, and that was the first show that they decided to choreograph and everything.
Become actual.
Yeah, and it was just, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll join whatever you guys want, and I got there and I got hooked on it. I'm like, well, if you guys are doing this, twice, 3, 6. I mean, they were probably doing it 5 times a year at that point. I'm like, guys, we should do this every month and make it consistent, because I've always been a fan of the theatrical side of professional wrestling. I love the wrestling, but I also love the production of wrestling. I love being able to watch content and be, involved in the story as I watch everything like that. And it was just a cool experience for those guys to invite me over and have it grow from wrestling in our basement on a mattress, just like you guys were, to now being 17, 18 years old wrestling in
A fucking
in a
ring.
12 by 12 wrestling ring. It's like, I mean, yeah, I never thought that was going to happen. So,
Yeah, you're telling me. The thing is, when we started wrestling, we had, like I already said this, but we had no clue that it was gonna get this. Like, we didn't even record or anything. We would just like play out, like we act like other wrestlers. Like, I'd be fucking.
yeah.
Who was I? Like, I'd always play as somebody. Chris would always play as like Shawn Michaels or somebody, and I don't even remember. I'd be like Triple H, and then yeah, we just mess around the whole time, and then we started like doing it more, and then we'd like actually do our own shows. We still wouldn't record it, but we'd like actually be serious about it, and then we just like, what, we could fucking record this and see how it goes,
Uh-huh.
and it worked out. So I know you said you've always been a fan of like this theatrical stuff, and the wrestling part. You have the amateur wrestling background,
I do.
and people don't even know that, except for the people that are close friends with you, like me. But the wrestling fans that watch us have no clue that you're actually currently even in amateur wrestling. And right now on the wall, I mean, I can't really see it because it's dark in here, but it's I don't know what year that's from. What year is that from?
This is from the bracket up here.
Yes.
This is from this year. This
The
is
bracket-
from, I ended up, I mean, if you want, I'll give you the backstory.
Well, yeah.
My dad was a head wrestling coach in Illinois for 22 years, coached 5 state champions. He's the most winningest coach in our high school's history. Just kind of something that I got brought up with. Never allowed to play basketball because basketball was for wussies. My parents always wanted me to wrestle, and wrestling was wrestling and football, I would say, up until now, it was just something that I did because I needed something to do. Amateur wrestling is so grueling. It's one of the hardest sports you're ever gonna play. As in a collegiate sport, like from young to college to past college into like the Olympics and stuff. It's so grueling on your body day in and day out, just beating it down like that. And I'm happy that we have an amateur wrestling background because with this, I'm already like, I know how to fall in the ring. It's things that you learn day in and day out, especially me because I'm wrestling every day with one of a soon-to-be national champion in college. This kid's crazy good. Probably going to be a 2-time national champion in college. And yeah, like you were saying, it's just, amateur wrestling. I think I ended up this year, I don't know, 35-9. Not too shabby.
And doesn't that say you went to did you win the trophy?
This tournament?
Yes.
I took first there. Pinned everybody in the first period.
Hot.
I know. It helps. I think it helps personally. Holds, being able to manipulate body parts when we're in the ring. It's something that I'm thankful that I have because it helps me so much with us wrestling in the ring, and just something that I think has helped me.
And I totally, like, I'm not bashing. I'm not trying to say that I'm better. Anyway, I'm just saying I never got to do anything like that, and then, like, I'm not regretting it. I don't want to do it.
Oh, no, don't regret it. It's not, yeah.
I give you props for that because I wouldn't want to do that. I just got lucky with the fact that all the wrestling like stuff that I know, I'm just really good at watching and observing.
Oh my gosh, dude! I'm happy that you brought this up because I think personally, I'm not. None of us are pro wrestlers. None of us are trained.
No.
We're just running pirate pro wrestling shows in our backyards and stuff, and it's just like, I think, and most professional wrestlers would agree. I've listened to a lot of interviews and stuff. They would agree that longtime wrestling fans have a better shot of making it if they want to be wrestlers than somebody who doesn't know pro wrestling that wants to step in and try to do it. Me and you,
You know me, like Roman Reigns, you mean?
yeah, yeah. Me and you and Matt and all these guys, we've grown up watching wrestling. I watch wrestling every day, wake up, watch wrestling. Before I go to bed, I'm watching wrestling. It's just something that we've learned by watching. And I think that's what's helped us is that we can just watch and learn and pick up on it so quickly. And we're lucky that most of us pick up on things
Really
quickly.
rapidly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just glad I'm not one of the people that take forever to learn shit. Like, if I like something that much, like, wrestling's the only thing that I'm really that good at, honestly.
Mhm.
The one thing I can actually say I'm confident in, because anything else I'm probably most likely bad at if you ask me to try it.
Mhm.
But when it comes to wrestling, in the ring, like, I'm not trying to brag, but, like, I can improvise, and
Oh,
it doesn't turn out to be shit. I mean,
we're yeah, yeah.
it's just, I just like, what I'm saying is that I like the fact that I can put on a match and not, like, worry about it, because I know it won't be shit, at least.
Yeah, yeah, it's so true. I mean, I've always just tried since we really started getting into backyard wrestling, I've just, listening to interviews and stuff about all the old guys, all these old pro wrestlers just saying that I mean, if you want to be good, you got to it's your job to make someone else look good while you wrestle them. And I've always taken that as in something that I like. I've always taken my selling and I've always taken my character development in that way. Being able to help people get to another level is something that I
I
enjoy.
think it's funny because you and I have a lot in common, because I'm assuming, like, half the people on the Fight Night roster, after you joined, like, a little bit after you joined, when you started getting really good, you started training with them and you started making them better. It's kind of how I was when,
The same way.
yes,
Yeah.
people, like, people, I'm not trying to brag, but people would say that, like, they could fight somebody and it would just be eh. It's kind of like when you carry someone in a match. Sometimes they only look good when you carry them in the match. And I like being able to carry them, yes, but I also like being able to carry them enough to where they can carry other people, because they
You
can learn
yeah,
from what we do.
you want to be able to wrestle with someone and develop them while you're wrestling in a match. You don't want to have to practice all the time. You want them to learn as you experience these matches. Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I got involved with these guys, and uh, I mean, I coming in, I was probably the most athletic person to
Well, it's
come
because
in.
you wrestled,
Yeah.
football, everything, and they did. I mean, I don't know what they did, but I know you did the most.
No, no, no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And coming in, Connor was so good because he was like a high flyer, and I
He's
came in.
still it's
Yeah,
great how he just does shit like that.
yeah, because he can just
He
pull shit out of his
improvises,
ass and
jumping out of a
improvise.
tree.
Yeah, and I just came in and it just it was really just a big deal for me. I'm like I want this to work. So I focused on wrestling. I focused on improving the moves because a lot of the matches ended up being they would get repetitive. So
Oh yeah.
you want to be able to wrestle differently. You want to be able to expand everyone's move sets and just kind of help the whole company branch as we learn and grow.
That's what I love about fighting Mad Mercer, because, I mean, I know the very first match was really me and Chris Masker, but, I mean, he was there, yes, towards the beginning, like, a lot, just not as frequent as Matt was, because I brought him in, it was freshman year.
Hmm.
He had opened my mind to all like, he's the one that really got me into fucking indie wrestling and made me actually, like, watch it, and I actually started, like, realizing who all these people were, and it's funny because at first, I don't know why I didn't bring this up in the podcast that I did with him. We mentioned it, but it really didn't get into depth. I We were talking about it. You were in our gym class too.
This is truth.
Yeah, and
It's funny how
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
things just work out, man.
And you were, I don't know, we were all in the same class, yes, but you would be doing something because like there'd be options because freshman PE is
Yep.
easy as shit. We'd always walk the track because we don't want to do anything because we're fucking lazy as shit. And so we just talk about wrestling the whole time. And we did that like every day because it's freshman PE and you go in the dome. I mean, the dome's gone now, but it wasn't back
The
then.
dome is as non-existent as Jacob Hunter's wrestling career.
True. It felt the collapse just
We
like
should. Are we gonna dive into that?
No.
Chestnut. Ooh,
Dive into what?
that good old chestnut.
There's not really much to talk about on that. I mean, we can in a minute, but and so it was. We'd walk the track. You'd ask us about like the NXT show that happened or whatever, and I just one of the times I just brought up HWR to him, and he thought it was cool, and I'm like, you know what? You should fucking join, and he said that'd be cool. He didn't even think I was being serious, but I mean, he didn't because he just didn't. I don't know. I don't know how he thought. He didn't really think I was serious about it just because he's, bad at trusting people. I am the same way too sometimes. But so, and I said that, and then like, I want to say like a day or two, maybe a little more than that later, I had him come over for the first time, and we had him do the promo, and like it's on you, all the stuff's on YouTube, in the very beginning. He did this like promo, and like it's not. I'm not saying it's shit now. It's not shit, but at the time, when we just first started, like I thought it was like the greatest shit ever, because like I could bring someone in and he already knows what we're doing. It's just cool, and then, let alone not only did he think I was joking about bringing him, his first match was against me for the title and he won, and he still brings it up in matches today because he thought that was the coolest thing, and I don't know, I thought it was cool too. And like, if we didn't even have that gym class, I'm not even gonna lie, if I didn't have that gym class with him, I would have never wrestled with him. We never have as many subs as we do, because he's like half the reason why we have all of our subs is because he's popular on Instagram, and he's good at he's our advertiser. I guess that's what I could say. I mean, I self-advertise all the time, but he's like half of the reason why we got so much shit going on. And well, I just think it's cool how all that shit worked out, and that you were in the class too, and we'd always talk about wrestling and shit, because you don't really find that much anymore. Now it's just fucking like basketball. Right now it's March Madness. Did that just get over?
I don't even know,
I
man.
don't.
I don't
It's stupid.
follow sports.
And like this,
I play sports, but I don't watch any sports.
That's the one thing I hate about March is that, yeah, I mean the only thing that I get out of it is that instead of doing homework, they'll put the fucking basketball games on. Not that I pay attention, because I think it's dumb as shit.
Yeah.
And if any of my fans watching right now like basketball, I'm sorry, but I think it's dumb as shit. It's not for everyone. Just like wrestling's not for everyone. But yeah, but that's basically like, oh, you don't go down the hall and talk about like, oh yeah, did you see WrestleMania? Like WrestleMania is tomorrow. I guarantee, like I'm gonna hear nobody talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a hush hush thing. People don't. It's always gonna come up that it's fake, bro. It's fake, right?
That's the one fucking thing I hate.
It's like, oh man, oh really?
Come take a superplex.
Really, it's fake. I didn't know, man. I couldn't tell.
I didn't just buy a ring I didn't buy a ring just now thinking that it was fucking real.
Yeah, I didn't know. I
had no goddamn clue, man. And if you really think it's a fake, why don't you jump in this goddamn ring with me?
Yeah.
And I know that anyone watching right now obviously doesn't think that way, because they wouldn't be watching fucking backyard wrestling.
Yeah.
If they didn't want, but if anyone says that to you and you like wrestling, and anyone says, that shit's fake, right? I want you to go up to them, punch, like fucking forearm them in the face. I know that's like not tough at all sounding, but like elbow them, just like give them a fucking Chris Hero elbow and just rape them, and just suplex them like in the grass or something.
Don't literally rape them, because that would be horrible.
No, it would be great.
Raping is not good.
Shut up, man. You don't matter. So, I want you to bring them to Nate's ring and suplex the shit out of them to see how they like it and see how fake it is. You can fake, yes, punches, yes, shit like that. But when you take a fucking, I don't know, superplex, for example, there's no way, if you land the wrong way, you could break something easily. So I don't want to hear it's fake. And I don't want you to sit around and just fucking let people say that it's fake. No shit, it's fake. But don't let people fucking annoy the shit out of you with it, because it's annoying as hell.
Amen.
What? Did you say amen?
I said amen.
I thought you said, hey, man. I thought you were trying to
Nope.
talk.
Amen.
Well, go ahead. I thought you were trying to say something.
Nope.
No, I'm just going to sit here and be quiet.
Nope. Nope, I'm just gonna throw him an egg. I'm an egg.
Yeah, I'm sure you were. Yeah, that's how you look when you get a buzz cut.
Shut up, dude. I got long hair now. I'm a wrestler.
Yeah, I think I got the long
I'm a
hair.
wrestler. You look like a dirty mop. That's what you look like.
Maybe that's what I want to look like.
A dirty used mop.
What? There was something I wanted to ask. It involved, like, I know that you started around, was it Fight Line 1?
Fight Line 1, yes, sir.
And I know that it was with Nick, Gavin, and the other two, Connor and Caden.
Yep.
When did you start, like, filming at your house in the basement here?
When did we start?
Because that's where we're at currently.
Our first show we filmed here was 2013 Vengeance. So I want to say probably a good 6 months before they came and wrestled here. And I mean, we just, I was giggity shit. I was like, oh my God, yes, wrestling at my house. I set up the walkway, had the mattress all set out. I've been dropping elbows on my stuffed animals. Fucking.
Oh, yeah, and your Scooby-Doo.
Oh man.
I found him the other day.
Beat the shit out of Scooby-Doo, man. Yeah. So I want to say it was 2013 Vengeance would be my first show here, and my first world title victory came at 2013 Vengeance out of the so many world titles I have.
It's funny because I think I remember watching that. Were you wearing like a blue shirt? And it was like the fake ass world title belt.
Oh yeah, little plastic belts.
And you had a buzz cut. And
Oh.
you were like skinny as shit.
I just looked like a
Like a little
I just looked
ginger
like a
boy.
I just looked like a dick. My head just looked like a dick.
Oh, your head looked like an egg.
A hard-boiled egg.
And well, the thing, like, it's weird for me because I know, like, you didn't start wrestling here. For me, it's the opposite. We only wrestled at my house, only because in my basement, it was finished, and well, I don't live there now, but it was the house that we had always filmed at. If any of you are listening, you know what I'm talking about. Because,
Does anybody live there now that's your family?
my mom had leased it to my friend's mom, so like they live there now. So yeah, it's weird going in there now because I know my friend lives there, and it's weird fucking going in there and seeing everything. It's weird because everything's all moved around. It just
Brings back those memories.
that's why I don't like being in there, because I'm like, I'm gonna cry. Not really, but like we'd always film there, or not film there. Well, yes, film there, but we always wrestled at my house, in my room, in the basement, and then came for when my parents had to move out of the house. I'm like, well, shit. I want to do, like, it was. I'm gonna get into the depth of why Holy War first anniversary was like complete garbage compared to how it's gonna be this year. We're gonna go from like fucking. Like, it's just the reason why it was so bad. It wasn't even bad. The matches were good. It's just the fact that it was rushed because we were moving out of the house. So I put the mattress that we were. You remember you were there.
Yep, I was there.
I had to put the big ass mattress. That was a pain in the ass to get up the stairs, by the way. We put it on the outside, and then the wooden ladder right there, and we kind of did just like it was just kind of slapped together. But I really wanted to do it before we moved out of the house because like it was a fart. It was like the biggest thing I wanted to get like our biggest show done. It was the first time we ever done it, of course, because it's the first anniversary, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. The idea, at least, and the matches were good. It's just the fact that it was so rushed, and because after we did that pay per view, that mattress went in the trash can, because that's how rushed it was, and then I had to move all my shit to my dad's. And I mean, we had to like, it was like a 2-day thing because like we filmed everything the one day. You had to leave early. Old Spice. You had to leave early.
Are we getting free money for this?
Why?
Are we advertising for Old Spice?
No, fuck Old Spice.
Oh God, it's too bright. Oh.
So you left early because I don't know. I don't really care. You left early and then Matt wasn't there.
What faggots? Look at those two.
Gay.
Look at those two goons down at WrestleMania thinking they're hot shit.
You left early. Matt wasn't there. It was just kind of. I mean, you leaving early wasn't the problem. It's just then we filmed all this shit. It was good, and then Matt couldn't come and do the main event like how I wanted it to go. So it just had to be Jacob versus Seth. And so the next day he came, and it was Nightmare versus Mad Mercer, and there was like. It's just one thing that I noticed that pisses me off, and it's gonna piss me off until they actually get to see me wrestle, if they even do. My mom put up with all of our shit for so long. Like we'd wrestle at 3 a.m. for matches, and she'd put up with our shit. It's been 3 years, and she put up with our shit for that long, and she's never once like seen us fucking wrestle like not even a spar match.
Is this the mom that I met at the house when I would have been there?
Yes.
The house that you lived in? Okay.
Yes, and her and my stepdad never have once... Like, they watch HWR because they want to know what's going on, which is cool, I think. But the fact that it just pisses me off that they've never just sat down and watched even a spar, let alone a show that we put together. Like, it bothers me. Because I really, like, the one thing that I want is just to have them sit, like, ringside for a show and just fucking watch me wrestle. It's cool. I know that my stepmom came to Fightline 5, though.
She did.
Yes, she did. And...
I taunted her.
I'm sure you did.
I did. I taunted everybody.
I'm sure you did.
It was awesome. Good show.
And I'm pretty sure my dad's coming. I wanted him to come last time. He wanted to, but he got...
Dad that was at Burnout?
Yes.
Oh, met him. Cool guy.
And so I'm pretty sure I'm going to have the same people come to Fightline this year. Fightline 6. And should have a
big crowd for Fightline 6 this year.
I mean, considering we're going to have a ring.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot better. The card's a lot better.
It is. It's a super card coming up.
I play super card.
It's because you're a loser.
Shut up, you play Champions.
Look at me. I play Clash of Clans.
Yeah, only faggots play Clash of Clans.
Oh, yeah, you play Clash Royale.
Which is much fucking better.
Because you suck dick on the weekends.
Actually, weekdays. But
Every day. In your butt.
Probably.
Currently taking it in your butt.
Is that what my podcast has come to? We're talking about... Yeah, well, why don't I post the NPK pictures?
You should. I think they're pretty funny.
NPK leak nudes.
NPK. I'm an egg.
And we just got done commentating for two attitudes.
Miles Kennedy and Corey Taylor, aka
AKA what?
Chad Catamaran and what was that dude's name?
I don't remember.
God damn it. Chet. No, Chad.
No. It was started with an L.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
Fandango was not an L.
No, Cena was.
No, Cena was Chad Catamaran.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Oh my God.
Don't look it up. I don't
Do not
care.
do not make me
Okay,
go.
you can show me after.
We're going to the fucking
don't
Google
wanna
right
know.
now. We're going to the Google right now.
Anyway, we got done commentating for the Attitudes. It was just the funniest shit. It was the first time I've ever done this with you. And so, I'm like, you know, what the fuck is my commentator name gonna be? And we just chose fucking... Who were you again? Miles Kennedy, the fucking singer for Alter Bridge.
Oh, yes, sir.
And I was Corey Taylor of Slipknot, apparently. I mean, I was like, I like the name. He said, you know what, I'm fucking using it. And I'm sure I'm gonna get shit for it, but I don't care, it's funny. And it's just hilarious, because you were like trying to talk about, like, we were commentating Jacob Hunter versus NPK in the main event. And you're like, you're commentating
MP Clay. MP Clay.
Oh my god, in a fucking belly to belly suplex to NP Clay, like
MP Clay.
And then I started fucking laughing my ass off. You're trying to ask me about the match when I'm mid dying, and it wasn't shit. It was funny as hell, but I just wish the quality was better. I don't know why the hell I couldn't. It picked up everything you said, but then like it sounded like a mumble.
You gotta get a voice, man.
I have a
the
voice,
mouth
you dumb cunt.
of the South.
You're
Jimmy Hart, baby.
You're fucking gay. Nate, NPK,
Chet Cheddarfield, and
what?
Chet Cheddarfield, and
It started with a fucking L. I'm telling you.
Lance Catamaran. Fuck me.
I told you.
God
see,
damn
that's
it.
who's
Son
seen
of
to play that.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
You just showed me that shit too.
Okay,
and
you
I
win.
fucking
You win.
remembered.
You win.
I
You
always
win.
win. I always win.
Are we gonna dive into our little Pato controversial things?
Like what?
I don't know. I think you understand what I'm gonna talk about.
I don't though.
I think you can feel the collapse coming. I think you can feel the collapse.
Something else felt the fucking collapse.
Let's take a trip down this road right now. You want to explain?
I can make the long story short.
Let's make the long story short here and kind of explain what's conspired over these last couple days.
I mean, it's his fucking fault, honestly. That he, you know...
There was some questionable deeds done by one of your long-term HWR superstars against you and your significant other.
He debuted in in Fight Night first.
Long time. I'm just trying to
I'm
keep
just trying
to keep the people aware for
I'm just trying to do
HWR
my
here.
job.
I'm just here so I won't get fined. I'm just here because I'm mentally behind.
And yeah, I mean, I'd rather not talk publicly about it, but I guess people deserve the answer on why he was fired from both companies. We've been dealing with like bitching at each other for a long time.
There's been a lot of friction between you guys.
And Fight Night.
Yes. I could see there was a significant downfall. I'm not sure if there were issues outside of wrestling. It's backyard wrestling. I mean, it's not like it's a global thing. It's just, I mean, if there were issues outside, we were never told, so.
There were issues outside between Nick and him. I know that.
I personally, I don't know why he never. I mean, you can look at Nick at either. I mean, you have to understand what kind of person he is. Nick's not gonna hurt a fly.
No.
He's just there to book. I mean, he enjoys. I mean, Fight Night Wrestling is his baby. I mean,
pretty much.
Him and those guys created it. I just happened to come along and I just helped them revolutionize what they were doing.
Hostile Wrestling revolutionized.
And I don't fight him on anything. I mean, are his techniques of getting word around of match cards the best? No. But there's no reason that there should be anybody that ever thinks that he's a bad person because of how he books backyard wrestling. I think it's some of the words that our questionable friend had spoken about him were undeniably kind of fictitious about what kind of person he was. He's not selfish. He's not out to get you as a person. He's just it's backyard wrestling. Nobody gives a shit.
Nobody really does give a
No,
shit.
it's us. It's just us overthinking everything, and I mean, we're just here to
The difference
fucking
between me and him is
do
yes. The difference between him and I with that was yes, I did. We were both in it together against Nick because we were fucking, we were pissed off at him all the time. But then I fucking realized it's backyard wrestling. No one gives a shit. I'm just gonna do whatever I'm told because it's fun. And then it just,
And life's just easier that way. And it's the same thing, personally. This is me talking to you because I do. I mean, I work for you because you own HWR.
I work for you.
It's just easier just showing up and doing what they want you to do. I mean, you just go, just ride along, go for the ride. It's just worked out better that way. And this guy just couldn't. I don't think he could figure out how to do that.
It's Jacob.
It's Jacob. Sorry.
Why
I didn't know if we were gonna say his name. I'm not sure.
I mean, he's not Chris Benoit.
Well, he's not. I mean, not yet.
I'm not gonna deny
He's
that
not Chris Benoit yet.
I'm not gonna deny that he carried this company. We fucking
You
this
guys
channel.
did that. I wasn't sure if we were dropping names or anything. I'm not.
It was only a joke. I'm not gonna deny that the most viewed match is 4.5K views with him and Mad Mercer. I'm not gonna deny the fact that for almost a year we recorded at his house because we had nothing else to choose from. I'm not gonna deny all that because I'm grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's the one. I told him don't fuck with me like that, and he just went and did it anyway. And what pisses me off the most is that he doesn't even give a shit about it. What kind of friend does something like that? Does something you tell him not to, and that big, and just doesn't give a fuck when you call him and you're pissed off and you're trying to you want to know why the fuck he went against what you said. And I said, I told you, I'm gonna be mad and I'm gonna be fucking pissed at you if you do this. He does it anyway, and all he has to do is laugh at me for wanting to know for fucking. Yeah, I was pissed. Of course, I want to call you a dumb fuck for not listening to me and throwing away our friendship. I know it's something small, but it's something I'm tired of nobody taking me seriously in that case. It's not even nobody. It's just him. He never fucking takes me seriously, and it's annoying. He loves to piss people off.
Yes. And I mean, it's not like anything was done to us. I mean, it was only the conflict that you guys had, and I just can't. I talked to Nick, and we just can't. That's going to be an unhealthy environment. If we're just. I mean, ultimately, we're just bros hanging out. We're just wrestling, but it's not going to be fun anymore if people are showing up and just bitching about things day in and day out. We just can't have that.
He was doing that well before.
Because we just want to.
He was doing that well before I kicked him out. It's
Yeah.
We were dealing with bullshit for quite he was my friend and we were dealing with all the fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But well before that, and
it had just gotten.
he can correct me. He can correct me if I'm wrong. But what we all think is he just, since he's leaving in July for whatever the fuck he's leaving for, he just stopped giving a shit and just, hey, my new gimmick is just gonna be the fucking racist. I'm gonna just come out and scream nigger out all the fucking time. That's just what who does that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes,
I know it's just backyard wrestling.
I
No one cares, but
understand,
who
yeah.
the fuck does that?
Yeah.
I know it's funny, but who the fuck does that?
Yeah.
And
There's a certain point where the jokes can go too far.
how do you come up and say that you care and do that shit and then bitch at somebody else? Like, just bitch at somebody who's telling you what to do because, I mean, it's their fucking shit. You want to show up and be a part of it.
Yeah.
Then do what you're fucking told. I mean, it's not that big a deal. It's just fucking backyard wrestling. You're not getting paid to do it.
No, we are not getting paid 1 cent.
We're paying a lot
We have
to
paid,
do it ourselves.
We have paid too much. Much.
Your family alone has paid over fucking thousands of dollars. Not thousands, but over $1,000 for that ring and the belts and all that shit. You and your
Too
family,
much.
way too much, but
It's what we like to do. It's our hobby.
Regardless,
It's our lifestyle.
what pisses me off is I don't like talking about it because all it does is make me mad, and I don't like to just be mad all the time. But
I would, just put it out, and
I want people to
obviously
know
we
why.
just don't.
People deserve to know why
Yeah.
he fucked himself over. He, he would always, and I always use the word bitch, but he would always just complain about shit. Like, it's just, like, I would complain sometimes too when something really fucking big is, like, pissing me off. But when it's just a little shit, like, he just purposely got a shit on it if he didn't come up with it. And if he fucks something up, it's automatically your fault.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how we want like my brother and Nick's brother to get better because they're younger.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take more time for them. How the hell are they gonna get better if there's constantly just a guy that's negative all around him all the time, just saying he's shit and you fucking suck?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was yelling. I don't know if you were there. He was just yelling in Leo's face the whole time, or Andre, as they know.
And I mean, he's your brother, and he's just there.
First of all, if someone's gonna be yelling at my fucking brother, it's gonna be me. And I understand that, like, we broke shit, but he didn't do it on fucking purpose. You can stop fucking yelling. You can calm down.
Yeah.
And he was bitching about how he was just shit at wrestling. He's like, yes, how is he gonna want to come back and be better and want to train if he's just got some critic who isn't even a pro wrestler just shitting on him the whole time just because he's older?
Yeah.
And we're at his house. It's not okay.
I think it's good that at least the people know now why Jacob just won't be wrestling for HWR or Fight Night, just because we can't have that kind of atmosphere, especially now with the ring, that things get so much more intense. I mean, every time we step in there now, I mean, we have the lives of our friends in our hands. So one thing goes wrong and I could get paralyzed for the rest of my life if I get dropped on my head the wrong way. So
and he wants to do like fucking lift moves when we're like twice his size, and he wants to like throw us around. It's like, cool, you can do that, but I don't fucking. He wanted to do the Styles Clash to me, and I don't care that it's my move. Fine, steal my move, but you're not doing that to me when I weigh twice your fucking weight. I understand you're strong, we get it, but I'm not that stupid. I don't want to break my neck just to show your strength.
Is there anything else you wanted to hit on in the podcast here? Because I do have a couple questions if you want to ask anything. Is there was anything you were wondering, or
about that?
No, just about in general. Fight Night in general, NPK in general.
You can ask me questions. You're the guest too.
Okay. So I'm taking over the podcast now. This is now the NPK show. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna.
Boom,
Goodbye.
Boom. So let's throw out we'll have some speed questions here. Favorite wrestler of all time?
I can't answer that.
Okay. Favorite wrestler right now?
In any
promotion? Favorite wrestler right now?
I don't know. I might have to go with Kenny Omega.
Good choice. Favorite promotion?
It's probably a tie between Lucha Underground and I don't know. It's just really hard to choose from. Lucha Underground is definitely tied for one with New Japan.
New Japan?
Yeah.
What is one of your favorite matches you have put on in HWR that you have been in? What's your favorite match?
Favorite match or one of them?
Your favorite match in HWR history, like any match that you've been in.
Put on?
Yep.
Fuck. I'm trying to think because I know that I had a favorite. It's just been a while. One of my favorites was, I don't even know why, it was like a really short and like kind of fucking like all over the place match, but Apocalypse, it was the first time that we filmed at your house for HWR just because we were there that day, and that was when you debuted. It was me versus El Pato, of all people. It's just one of my favorite matches. I don't know, just because of like the wrestling that we did.
Just a match that's like stuck around with you personally.
Yeah, him and I always watch it all the time, and like, my favorite thing was when I did the fucking butterfly suplex and did like a 450 and like hit his face.
Oh, I vividly remember that.
You guys popped like so hard for that.
Favorite match so far in Fight Night Wrestling?
Let's see. That's probably a lot easier to answer because
What
just
are you
because
going
I
on now? This will be your second year
as
wrestling?
as of Lightning Storm 2016,
You've been here for a
a
full year
yeah,
and
about a half.
it's a year and like 5 months.
Fightline 6 this year will probably be a year and a half.
Okay.
Will be, if not, yeah, it'll be about a year and a half, regardless, like roughly. I don't know. I have a lot of favorites. Even though Jacob's no longer with us, one of my favorite matches was Vengeance. Was it 2016 or
2016, I believe.
2016? It was for the NXT title, the Next Generation title of Fight Night, and it was in the end of the tournament, and we were the finalists, and I.
You guys did pull out one hell of a match that day. I think we were skeptical because that was the first time that we'd actually put you guys together on one of our big monthly shows, and it was above and beyond what we thought it was going to be.
I think it was so good just because I had brought him to HWR a little before that, and we practiced more. But my favorite match of all time was Fightline 5 Triple Threat NXT bout.
Triple threat from last year.
Yes.
Um.
Not just because I won either.
Oh yeah, not just because you won. That's okay.
I just so had happened to win.
I would say, I mean, if I had to answer that question, I would say, I think it's become the atmosphere in Fight Night Wrestling, and just in the matter of a month, like because we just filmed another show for HWR, and it's the first time, obviously, we don't have Jacob with us. I would think ever since we brought you guys in, like since we were able to bring you guys into Fight Night Wrestling, the atmosphere has became so infectious that everybody wants to steal the show when they're wrestling.
Yeah.
I mean, you go back and you look and you go Fight Line, Summer Explosion, you go into this year and you go to Shell Shock, Lightning Storm, Winter Bomb, Vengeance, Ignition, Inferno. I mean, every single show has been knocked out of the park. Like, I mean, every single show has been up and above the standards that we had set these shows at. And I think my favorite match right now.
You can't forget our death match.
I know. There's
after you answer this question on favorite match, I got another question for both of us to answer. So go ahead.
Okay. I would say my most influential match was against Pater at Fightline 4,
That actually,
where
I didn't mind that match. It was a pretty good match.
where I won the Fight Night title for my third time. Fightline 4 was the biggest show that we'd ever done at that point. First time that we had, parents and people in the crowd. And it was just a cool experience because it was the first time for us running an actual show. I mean, we got that show done in an hour and a half. It was a great show. I think that was a good experience with me and Peyton, and I've had a bunch of great matches with him. I think my favorite match in Fight Night so far would have to be either my match with Peyton at Fightline 5.
5?
At Fightline 4.
Yeah, good now. I'm gonna say, yeah. Colin fought him at 5.
I would say, yeah, I'm not my brother. My brother's in the basement. We keep him in a cage.
He's gonna be my next guest on the podcast.
I would say either that match I had with Peyton, or if we want to go closer now, I would say either Vengeance this year between me and you, which I thought was an excellent match. I mean, you look at these, I can't pick one of our matches.
No,
to be the
my
best.
favorite match between you and I was the fucking death match.
Was the death match? I mean, we've had so many matches, just me and you fighting back and forth. We had Lightning Storm.
Revolution was another great
Revolution.
one. When you fell on my
Vengeance.
nuts and broke my testicles.
Winter Bomb. It's been fun. I think I just think it's been awesome with you guys here. It's been a real fun experience.
My question that I wanted us, I already know my answer, but like over like you can answer. You don't have to answer just with me in it. It could be any spot that you've ever done. Like, what's your favorite spot? Like crazy. Oh, basically OMG moment. My favorite, one of my very top favorites is the fucking thumbtack table that we did in our death match. That's one of my favorite OMG moments that we've ever done.
One of your
That
favorite.
I've ever done. Like been in.
Oh man, this
It's
is
not my favorite.
this is a hard question.
Yeah.
I would say we. Oh man, you're not giving me easy questions here, Hellstorm. I know.
Well, you don't have to give your
My
favorite.
favorite
Just
spot.
one of them.
I know. I'm thinking, man. This is a hard question. My favorite spot. I would say one of my favorite spots was, I would say, either the thumbtack table from our death match or really any of the Puma eliminating me
That
from
was
the
pretty, yeah.
from the Rumble was pretty cool. But I would say one of my favorite, I'm gonna say it was a spot, but it's not a spot. I'm gonna say one of my most proud moments was being able to wrestle Zack Tech at Victory Road 2016. So that would have been the Victory Road leading into last year's pay-per-view or last year's Fight Line, which Pay Dirt won the world title at
Yeah.
that show. Being able to wrestle Zach and steal the show with that match really, really helped me, I think, as a wrestler, because it brought me assurance that I've made movements forward since I started wrestling. Because me and Zach went out there, and Zach is not the most technically sound human being in wrestling, if you know.
I do know because
If you know.
the funny thing is that you say that it's like I remember that match, and like I'm not shitting on Zach. I'm actually doing the opposite because like a lot of people would say that he's like shit and he fucking sucks and he shouldn't be there. But when he tries, he's fucking good. Like in that match, that was really good. I'm pretty sure that won match of the year last year. Actually,
It did.
it did. Yeah, and
Or this year.
what?
It would have won this, because it was
It won 20. It won the end. It won season 5 or whatever.
Yes.
Season 5 match of the season.
Yep.
And well, I really loved the match that we did at Burnout.
Your guys' match you had at Burnout impressed me.
I was very like not upset. I wasn't scared or anything like that. I knew it would be a good match. It shocked me that we did as well as like we had never wrestled. We never really actually done like one-on-one. That was our first one-on-one, and it was for the Next Generation belt that I still had. And I don't know. It was in front of that huge ass crowd because it's Burnout, and it was our first like really big live show.
Now that you bring that up, I'm gonna put that on my. I'm gonna say that's been one of my most favorite recent matches, just because of the experience being able to wrestle Jacob in the main event there, and having all those kids around the ring, and you guys just.
It was funny.
We just tore the place apart, and I thought that was just it was a cool experience, being able to wrestle there.
And it's weird because like Zach and I never talk. We never like practiced. We never did anything like that, and we just went out there and did it, and it was like not shit. Like I didn't expect it to be shit. I just expected it to be like maybe like a 2-star match, something just to give the fans something, and it ended up being like like a 4-star match, at least maybe not 4-star, but like to me it seemed like a 4-star for Fight Night, like for the fact that we never had wrestled one-on-one, we never talk, we never practiced before, we just went out there and just did it, and it was sexy.
No, yeah, it's been great. This year's been. It's been really fun.
A lot of shit has changed, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Yes, it has.
Some for the better, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
and then we got the ring. That's probably the biggest change, and then the next pay-per-view for the first pay-per-view that Fightline's gonna do with it is coming at the end of this month. It's gonna be Victory Road.
Yeah, with the Rumble and everything, it's gonna be fun.
How many guys do we got going in that?
I don't even
Besides possible debuts,
I don't even know, man.
at least 15.
And in the Rumble, probably 10, mandatory 10. But
Yeah.
that's cutting it because we're gonna have to cut people out.
True.
Some people won't be in the Rumble.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because like if Zach or Peyton don't show,
Mm-hmm.
are they scheduled to? If they
Oh
do
yeah,
come?
they're scheduled. I mean, they're always scheduled to come. It just depends when Peyton's working and when Zach is.
Not doing hockey.
When Zach is, yeah,
Well, that's done, isn't it?
he plays on those like weird ass travel teams and
Oh,
shit.
I don't know
Play
how.
on
I don't.
unofficial
I don't.
ice.
I've never talked to him outside of.
Yeah.
And then, even then, we never really talk. It's just we've never really been friends. We just wrestled the one match, and it was just shockingly really good.
Mm-hmm.
But this has been an Eye of the Storm, episode 2 of the podcast series.
I'm gonna give my plugs.
You're gonna what?
I'm gonna plug myself.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna give my plugs.
I don't know what you mean.
Sit back and watch. So, I'm MPK. I am the best
The best.
backyard wrestler in the Midwest,
Oh my god.
hands
Because
down.
people care so much.
And if you want to follow me on Instagram,
Oh my god.
I am on Instagram. Everything lowercase hhs.mpk. Follow me on Snapchat hhs.mpk. Go to our YouTube channel, Fight Night Wrestling. First channel to show up. Click the subscribe button. You can click on and click off those videos. All I want is your views and your subs. And if you guys want to help us out, go over to IEW Backyard Wrestling on YouTube and go subscribe.
Yeah, don't do any of those things except for sub to IEW. That's all I ask.
How about you eat shit?
I would love to. This has been the second Eye of the Storm, and
Suck
Tune-
it.
yeah,
Suck
yeah.
it, suck it, suck it, suck it, suck it.
tune in next time. We'll have Crazy Colin, NPK's brother, on the podcast. It probably won't be as long because, he can't stay out of the basement for too long, but we'll see what we can do, and I'll see you next time.